welcome to the Keystone Experience. Rob Warwick
and Matt Pitzer.
Brought to you by Creek Archery. Find your passion and hunt it down.
And Hillview Motors, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Ram. Remember, Hillview has it in Greensburg, Pennsylvania.
What's going on, everybody? Hey, we're going to talk about a little bit of physical fitness because we're all getting old and jacked up shoulders and that kind of stuff when it comes to archery hunting. We got Christian Williams with us from Archery Strong. How's it going, buddy?
Going pretty well, guys. I appreciate you having me on. I'm looking forward to spending some time talking with you.
Yeah, we need Matt here needs somebody to straighten up his shoulder, so
yeah.
The chiropractor can't seem to do it.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to talking all things archery, shoulders, hunting, whatever you guys want to get into. So it'll be a good conversation.
Well, I guess let's start with, before we get into what it is you do now, give us a backstory. How did you get involved in hunting?
Yeah, absolutely. So I was very blessed and lucky to have a family, and more particularly a dad that was and still is a big outdoorsman. Everything from deer hunting here in Pennsylvania to grouse hunting, woodcock hunting. My dad loves to bird hunt and some other endeavors in the outdoors, fishing, camping. And I was raised doing those things and had a lot of opportunities to kind of experiment and have those exposures to the outdoors and to hunting. And primarily growing up throughout my childhood, we were what I'd say we were the typical Pennsylvania family as far as rifle season for deer would come here in Pennsylvania, and we go out on opening day and have some experiences there. And then opening day of turkey season, like I said, a little bit of grouse or pheasant hunting at some local places. And I enjoyed all of those things, and that was a great part of my childhood. But it wasn't until later in my teens when I decided to pick up archery hunting. I was transitioning from being a competitive Olympic weightlifter and competitive CrossFitter to needing a new pursuit, I suppose, to pour myself into, to have an avenue to learn and to challenge myself. And I decided to really dive deep into archery. I had always had a bow as a young boy and growing up and shooting in the backyard, but this was an opportunity to really dive into it. So again, that was later in my teens. And as soon as I started into bow hunting at that time, it really just totally consumed me. It combined so many different things that I loved, between being outside, between understanding nature and the landscape I was hunting on, to some physical training and some physical fitness attributes that kind of get thrown into bow hunting depending on what you were doing. And I tell the quick story because it's one of my favorites that, like I said, in my teens, I got my first bow. I had actually sold some exercise equipment to get some money to buy the bow. And I'd been shooting a couple of weeks. In June, I had got it. And I sat down at the kitchen table one night with my dad for dinner. And I said, "Hey, Dad, I have been shooting for a little bit and I'm getting pretty good. You know, I can put all my arrows in a baseball at about 20 or 30 yards. And I feel like I want to maybe start to try to expose myself to some hunting with my bow." And he kind of laughed and said, "You know, but it's June. It's going to be a while until anything's really in season. Local farms with a bow." And his smirk was on his face because he knew that was going to be very challenging to get within bow range of ground hogs. If anybody's familiar with woodchucks or ground grizzlies, whistle pigs, you hear some different names for them. He knew that would be challenging. And I've said, "Hey, you know, I think it'd be a great opportunity to kind of cut my teeth, so to speak, on bow hunting," not knowing a whole lot besides the basics that you learn as a kid growing up in hunting. So I went out to a farm one day, no success. Went out again, no success. Went out again, no luck. And I think it took me like 8 or 10 hunts spotting groundhogs, stalking them, kind of creeping through farms to finally get a shot and sink a couple of arrows. And from there on, that just took off. I continued bow hunting groundhogs for the rest of the summer and summers after that. But then, of course, I dove into archery hunting for whitetails here in Pennsylvania and turkeys as well. So from that point to present day, it's just become a huge part of my life, as I know it is for you guys too, and certainly anybody listening. So it's an awesome. It's really cool, I think, to look back on the process that kind of leads you to your current place as a hunter and as an outdoorsman. And I guess that's a little bit of a glimpse into my path to where I'm currently at now as far as hunting goes.
All right. Now, two things I took from that. One, I've never heard it called a ground grizzly. That was great. I love that.
Yeah.
I call them rock chuckers.
Yeah. All right. I like it.
I've never heard ground grizzly. That is my new favorite. I will be using that nonstop. Cool. And the other thing that I pulled from that is you said weightlifting, like you started lifting that early. You were still in your teens, like competitively.
So I'll touch on both of those. I like ground grizzly too, in particular, because my grandpap had always said that if groundhogs were as big as grizzly bears, that he wouldn't walk through the farms, because if you've ever cornered a ground grizzly or a woodchuck, if you get between them and their hole, man, they go from being a skittish rodent that just wants to scurry back to their hole to like furry, long tooth, like Rottweiler. I mean, they get defensive, they get nasty, they start snapping their jaws and growling at you. It's a heck of an experience. So they also, kind of get that sometimes like that grizzled tint on their fur, some of them. So I think between their aggressiveness when cornered and then their fur, it is a cool name. I like that. I have to give credit to that to Bo Martonic. If you guys have ever heard or come across him, he's a friend of mine, and I think he introduced that name to them. But to your second question, did I start weightlifting that early? Yes. I actually started weightlifting, I'm thinking back now, that I'll keep it brief, was in gym class at school in like maybe 6th grade. We had to do a flex arm hang, which is basically, if you can't see me right now, it's doing a chin up and holding your chin above the bar as long as you could, called the flex arm hang. It was a test in gym class. And I'll never forget, remember to this day, that she kicked my butt. She held up there for like almost a minute, I think. And it really kind of triggered in me, man, I'm pretty weak and I don't like that. And I would like to get stronger. So my dad and I went and we bought my first pair of dumbbells. And I started working out with those dumbbells and slowly added some more equipment. And then fast forward to my late teens, if anybody's familiar with it, I started competing in CrossFit, which is a kind of a functional fitness competition style of exercise, and progressed into some Olympic style weightlifting, which is heavier weightlifting with 2 different lifts. And really, since that age of 13 to present day, exercise as a whole has been and still is a big part of my life for sure.
Cool. I mean, Rob, you like lifting now?
Well, I've always liked lifting. It was just finally getting myself in the health to do it and do it right, because I was always one of those guys that the more weight you can lift, the better off you were.
Yeah, sure.
I always looked up to like the world's strong guys.
Yeah.
Like Robert Oberst and Brian Shaw and Eddie Hall, those guys.
Oh yeah, they move some big
I'll
weight.
watch their videos and it's crazy, 1,000-pound deadlift.
Yeah, they're just absolutely incredible.
What human does that for fun?
Yeah. Incredible.
And then, like I said earlier, I had gastric sleeve surgery back in May. I lost a ton of weight, and, I didn't realize when you lose all that weight that you lose a lot of muscle.
Sure.
And I mean, as I got older, I went from shooting an 80-pound bow to shooting 65 pounds. But come hunting season this year, I was shooting at 60 pounds, and it like really played a mental thing with my head. So I
Right.
was like, you know what? I'm just going to start lifting. And, I went and bought some bands, and I tried the whole gym thing. I'm not really into being around a group of people like
Sure.
that,
Yeah.
especially a bunch of young kids that are hogging up machines.
Yeah.
And, when I'm there to do something and get in and get out,
Yeah.
and, they want to sit there and take selfies on the machine and stuff like that.
Yeah. At
But
home
it is what it
options
is.
are great.
Yeah, so I bought resistant bands, and I've been adding, some steel weights here and there.
Good.
So,
Very good.
and just practicing pulling back, the heaviest resistant band I got, every day, 15, 20 reps with it. And then I also got this mentality now that it's do as many reps as you can until you just can't do it no more, until you just tire out.
Yep.
So I don't know if I'm right or wrong, but that's why we got you on here to let us know what we need to do and how we can do it without hurting ourselves.
Sure. Yeah. I'm happy to help any way I can.
So, what actually is it that you do now? So we've got a little bit of backstory, and we'll come back to some of your personal stuff here. But we had you on. It's called Archery Strong.
Mm-hmm.
Where did that idea come from? What is it that you do for those that have never heard of you?
Yeah, great question. So there's two questions there. Um, where did Archery Strong come from, and what is Archery Strong? What does it do? So I'll start with the first question. Where did it come from? I've got to backtrack real quick to that story of hunting ground grizzlies with a bow, where uh, when I was in college, I was studying exercise science, and at the same time, this is when I was really ramping up into archery hunting and finding a passion for that. So I'm studying exercise science. I got a job at a sports injury clinic called Next Level Spine and Sports Injury. It's north of Pittsburgh here in Pennsylvania. And my job there was a movement and corrective exercise specialist. So my job was to assess the movement of somebody's shoulder, back, hip, knee, whatever it might be, identify where their strong points are with the function of that region and that joint, and where the weak points are of that region and that joint. Then I would give them specific exercises to correct that issue or dysfunction. And I worked at that job for about 5 years. And at the same time, like I said, I was really finding my passion for archery. And I decided to start my business with Archery Strong because as I was really pouring into archery and working this job, I started to think, I'm hunting all these groundhogs and shooting my bow every single day. There are definitely some things that I can do to keep my upper body, specifically my shoulders, my shoulder girdle, my upper back, keep all of these regions that are uh, placed under a large demand and placed under a lot of stress during archery. There's certainly a lot of things I can do from the knowledge that I've gained through my job, from school, to make sure I keep myself in shape that is going to diminish injuries, help me feel strong, help me feel capable behind the bow as I'm hunting for groundhogs, as I'm shooting my bow, etc. So I started to test these things out, started to implement some stretching, some strength training, some corrective exercises, rehab type stuff, all to again keep myself in the best position possible to continue shooting, feel good with shooting, and feel capable and confident with shooting. And it really just started as a idea of combining two things I loved: archery and training the body to function optimally so we can do the things that we like to do. And as I started this idea, I continued to kind of develop my skill sets, knowledge base, and started to put some information out there to the public through different sources, writing articles for newspapers, putting out videos, social media pages, things of that sort. And about 6 months into it, I decided to put together some simple general programs to address these needs that we're talking about for archers. And each year, I have progressively developed into more specific offerings for archers and providing different types of training for archers. So this is where we get to that second question of what does it do? What does Archer Strong do? And the mission is to help all archers relieve pain, prevent injury, and improve performance through the use of that strength training, rehab type corrective exercises, stretching protocols. So again, there's three main heads to Archery Strong: relieve pain, prevent injury, and improve performance. So I provide training to all different types of archers, whether they're bow hunters, whether they're target archers, whether they're Olympic recurve archers, traditional archers, just recreational archers, to meet those three goals. So I have some people who have pain, discomfort, soreness, primarily in the upper body joints and regions we use for archery, that limit them in archery. So the goal being to get them to a place where they're more comfortable, right? Nothing is as enjoyable as it could be if it were pain free. So if we have, again, soreness, tightness, discomfort, whatever it might be, that we feel when we shoot, that can be limiting in either the enjoyment or in many cases the actual function of shooting, whether we have to lower draw weight, whether we have to put the bow down for a while and take a break, whether we can't shoot as many arrows as we want to shoot. All those things can be limited by those negative feelings. That second component of preventing injury, where a lot of us, especially if we're in good health, we don't think a whole lot about injury in archery. But the fact of archery, or the basis of archery rather, is we are subjecting ourselves to repetitive load and repetitive motion. Repetitive load meaning every time we raise, hold, and draw our bow back, we are under load. We are under a load that's no different than picking up a dumbbell, picking up a sack of dog food. It's all load, and we're doing that repetitively through repetitive motion. So it's the same motion over and over and over again. Very comparable to a lot of my friends out there and people listening who are mechanics, who are tradesmen, who are guys that work in physically challenging jobs. They're very familiar with repetitive motions that they may repeat on a daily basis, and they feel their joints becoming achy. They feel that tightness, soreness, pain. In archery is the same concept of it's that repetitive motion, that same motion every time. So what we're getting to here with injury prevention is providing archers with different types of exercise that can help make them more resilient in the face of those repetitive load and repetitive motions that we must do, and help them tolerate those challenges within archery so that they're as equipped as possible to be able to shoot the way they want without having to worry about injuries. Or if they do run into some issues in archery, they're less significant than they would be than if they were not doing anything at all, right? So sometimes injury prevention is just a matter of lessening injury. And then the final component there was improved performance, with the idea being if you take, and the research we see in all areas of archery demonstrates this too, if we take an archer who is untrained, meaning they don't do anything besides, kind of maybe go about daily life, maybe go to a sedentary job, spend time, watching TV, things of that sort. And then we take an archer that engages in exercise, resistance training, stretching and mobility work, strength training. We see in many different ways that archer that trains is more equipped behind that bow. So we're building up the archer to be more stable, strong, more mobile, more in control, and have more stamina behind that bow so that they can feel better and feel more capable behind that bow too. So ultimately, that performance side of training leads the archer to feel more steady, to be able to shoot more arrows, to be able to shoot a heavier draw weight, and to be able to feel more consistent across the board in regards to their physical capability with that bow, right? All of the physical attributes that allow you to shoot that bow, because of course it doesn't happen on its own, right? So that's where we look at what physical attributes do we need for shooting, and then how can we build them up, and that's what we do.
So I was always told that there's a muscle in the back that you only use when you shoot a bow. How true is this?
As that statement stands, is not true at all. Because muscular systems are they're very complex. They were designed, created in a way that all muscles are working in a variety of activities we do. But I think there's definitely merit to that statement. And the reason why I think that's merit is your statement was there's a muscle in your back that you only use when you shoot a bow. I would say if we could tweak that a little bit and say there's a muscle in your back that you use a lot more when we shoot a bow, absolutely. There's muscles in your back that you strengthen and develop more effectively when you shoot a bow? Absolutely. Um, Without getting too in the weeds, archery is absolutely can be a great tool to engage the certain muscles in your back to kind of bring some life into muscles that most people on a daily basis do not use. That's absolutely true. And I think that speaks to that statement. Yes.
Okay.
I thought I'd been lying to customers for years now.
I think the general I
Yeah,
think the general takeaway from that it almost kind of I don't know what the phrase would be for it, but it's almost kind of that, you hear like a wives' tale that although the wives' tale is not necessarily true, there's a lot of like meaning and truth behind it that you can get. And I think exactly what I just laid out there as far as when you shoot archery, you absolutely use muscles you don't normally use. You absolutely use muscles in a way that's better than or maybe more effective than what's normal. So that holds a lot of truth.
Okay. Well, I'm glad we weren't lying to all the
No,
customers
no.
down at Crick Archery for the
Yeah.
last 5+ years.
Yeah.
Now, you said you kind of got into this from combining two passions. Did you have any injuries that also pushed into that, or it was just, between the schooling and your love for archery, you just wanted to get into it and help people avoid or come back from injuries?
It would definitely be the latter, where I myself have not had any major injuries to my upper body or to anything that has greatly affected my shooting. I've certainly had small aches and pains and issues that I have had to work through and address, absolutely, but nothing major that was like a catalyst to saying, oh man, I had a rotator cuff tear, I had a shoulder dislocation, or things of that nature that would sometimes fuel somebody to want to do something like this. No, mine was the latter that you said there, where just my love for archery. My interest in exercise and using exercise to improve the human body definitely fueled this. Now, what I will say, kind of spinning off your question a little bit, is a lot of what drove me to start this and pursue this was such a deep appreciation and a deep passion for archery that led me to this realization that I was like, man, I said to myself that I would not know what to do if archery was not a part of my life. Um, it's not the most important part of my life, but it absolutely is a huge part of it, and I never want that to be taken away. And unfortunately, there's a variety of things out in the world today that are poking at archery and hunting, as we all know. Um, but there's one thing that is completely or mostly, I should say, in our control, and that is maintaining our physical integrity to be able to shoot our bows and to shoot archery and enjoy archery until we're 60, 70, 80. And personally, that's my goal. And I know a lot of people who love archery, who love archery hunting, have the same goal, where they don't want to have to put their bow down. They don't want to have to switch to a crossbow. They want to be able to continue to pursue and enjoy archery the way that they want to pursue it. And I do as well, with every fiber of my being. So that was a big realization that said, okay, what is one thing I can do to help prevent people from having to give up archery or kind of push archery away. And that was a big piece of it.
Well, that's good. I can tell you this. Be glad that you haven't had to come
Yeah.
back from those injuries because they're
Oh yeah, I
not
see
fun
it
at
all the
all.
time with the archers I work with. They're tough. It really is a big hurdle for sure.
Yeah, I mean, I deal with it for I've dealt with it for the last couple
Yeah.
of years now. I have a bad
Hmm.
left shoulder, and I can't shoot like I used to. Like Rob was saying earlier, my draw weight's dropped. Um, More importantly, is I can't shoot
Right.
as often because it doesn't take long
Right.
before that shoulder starts
Right.
bothering me. You know, a couple shots in, and I'm stubborn enough that I push through it, and then I regret it for the
Yeah.
next couple
Yeah,
of
that
days.
happens too.
But you know, and hopefully, I'm like you. I know Rob wants to
Mhm.
keep doing this. I fear long term for me hunting archery that I'll have to switch to a crossbow, which I don't have a problem with. As long as I'm in the woods,
Sure.
I'm happy. You know, I'm not one of these guys that are anti crossbows and no rifles. I'm going out with a spear and a stick and a
Sure.
stone. But I do feel that, you know, because of the injury I've had to my shoulder, that it's probably going to cut back a little bit on my
Yeah.
compound career.
Yeah. Yeah.
So you have specific like programs that people can get in touch with you to work
Yes, sir.
to what do I want to say to work specific muscles or like a program put together to just specifically train for archery or just train for the
Yeah.
whole deal
Yes.
to better your
Yes,
whole
sir.
body.
Yep.
So
He called you sir.
I know because of the white beard. It makes me look older
Just a
than what I
respect for elders. That's it.
am. But
Now he called you old.
hey, he's telling the truth.
I'm
I'm
also
not gonna
honest.
lie. But yeah, like I said, I was flipping through Facebook one day and I run into a bunch of your videos and I started watching them, because I was trying to get myself back to where I was before the surgery, and now I'm back to 65 pounds and I'm happy, and now it just becomes I get done at noon, I come home and I work out for 2 hours
Yeah.
every day. So
Yeah. Good for you. Well done.
know, and now it's nice enough that I don't have to walk on the treadmill downstairs and look at a piece of, drywall for 45 minutes. Now I can go back outside and
Yeah.
start
It's a
hiking
great time
around.
of year. Absolutely.
Yeah, but yeah, I think the whole concept of bringing them all together is pretty cool. It's something I think that should catch on, and hopefully our listeners can get in
Mhm.
touch with you and get that kind of stuff. I've been staring at that gobbler fan behind you and that crazy looking rack up there on that one whitetail, because I am a stickler for
Yeah.
freaky whitetails, and I really
Yeah. Yeah.
like it.
Thank you. Thank you. Good memories for sure.
Were they bow kills
Yes.
or
Yeah. All of these were bow kills. The turkey, the gobbler fan, and then these 3 bucks as well. Yes, sir. And that was November 6th. It was definitely November 6th. I think it was like 2019 or something. He came down a ridge grunting at like 7:45 in the morning. Sunlight was coming through the oaks on that ridge. It was just beautiful. And came down to the creek down below me. Steep shot through the heart, ran about 60 yards, and then tipped over. So that was a cool one.
recurve compound?
These three are all compounds. My best one that I got this year with the recurves downstairs. My wife gave me the green light to put that one in the living room. European mount as well. So that one I get to look at every day. These are just in the office that I see once in a while. So yeah.
Good for you. I don't know how you managed to pull that off. Getting one downstairs
Yeah.
where everybody can see. That's
Well,
like unheard
I
of.
always said to her, I said, I'm not personally. I don't love mounts. I do everything European. I guess that's kind of more of my style. And I told her, I said, once I shoot a really good one here in Pennsylvania, then I'd like to put it in the living room. And she knows. I talk a lot with her about hunting, and recently I've been hunting mostly with a recurve, and she knows that, hey, if he gets one with a recurve and a really good one in Pennsylvania, then that's a worthy accomplishment of hanging up in the living room. So it was, I guess, maybe a fair deal between us, and nice that she supported me in that. So
Yeah, so you're getting ready for turkey season?
I am. I've done some scouting, watching for scratching and sign. I've seen a good number of birds in the places that I hunt around here. I will say I'm not nearly as much of a turkey hunter as I am a whitetail hunter, but I do enjoy it. It's one thing I've been able to involve my wife in, so I'll take her a little bit. As we all know, man, it's hard to beat a May morning in the spring. Hearing birds gobble on the roosts, that's just awesome. But I'll definitely be getting out some and enjoying that. But my big love is definitely whitetails for sure.
Yeah, I think we're all in that boat. I love the turkey hunt. There's nothing like calling
Yeah,
an animal
yeah,
to you. But being up in the tree stand whitetail hunting, there's nothing, to me there's
yeah,
nothing else like it, you know.
yeah. Indeed, I agree.
All right, now I might end this podcast after this answer.
Uh-oh.
What kind of compound are we
Oh
shooting?
man. Well, I'm gonna preface it that I have absolutely no brand loyalty at all. Uh, I've shot three different types of compounds. I shoot a recurve primarily now. I go to the bow shop and I shoot a handful of bows and I pick whatever feels best to me. In the past, it's been a Bowtech, then it was PSE, and now I'm shooting a Hoyt, and that's what I'm shooting now. And well, the two follow ups would be that I don't work with any bow companies, which allows me to do that. But then the second thing is that for me, I have a big, I have one of the things I guess I hold highest when it comes to a bow is durability, and Hoyt has been known for that. Where I shoot a lot. As we've talked about, I love archery. I shoot almost every single day, and with a compound, that gets burdensome. They're machines and they break down like machines do. And I've had problems with every brand of compound I've ever shot. So I've just kind of worked my way through them and trying to find something that reliable and durable. So now that I've revealed after that long spiel that I shoot a Hoyt, now I have to ask you guys, what bows do you guys shoot?
Well, you can't because we're hanging up now. I'm not talking to a Hoyt guy anymore. No, I just like asking that question because we're the same. We are not brand loyal. We have shot pretty much every brand possible. I just find it funny, and that's why I like joking with people with that, is you will have guys, you said Hoyt, oh, I am done with you. Or you said Matthews, nope, not talking to you anymore.
Yeah.
I loved your answer because it's what every archer should do. And that's what Rob and I and the rest of the crew down at Creek Archery do. We want you to shoot every bow and pick the one that fits you the best. If money is an issue, that's one thing, but don't come in. And I did this. The first time I ever went to Creek Archery, I had a Hoyt, or no, it wasn't Hoyt. It was a Matthews. I wanted a Matthews. It was one bow I hadn't owned. I wanted a Matthews. You know what I walked out with?
Yeah.
An Obsession. And we've kind of flip-flopped through Obsession. Rob had a new breed.
Cool. Yeah.
I've had Hoyts, Matthews, Bowtechs,
Yeah.
PSEs.
Yeah. Now I'm back to shooting.
Yeah, I've heard really good things about them, and when I was first kind of starting out, I had the bow shop I went to. A good friend of mine, Rick Maxon, said something to me that exactly like you're saying, and I think it is should be rule number one for picking a bow. And he said, ignore or pretend that there's no name on the limb and shoot a variety of different bows. And and that's what I did, and that's what I continue to do. And you know, they're all different, and shooting them all, and just truly throwing out the brand. Who cares who makes it? And focusing on how it feels, how it shoots for you, man. That will lead you to the right bow for sure.
Yep. That's when them people come in down the archery shop and they'll ask me, what do you shoot?
Yeah.
It don't matter what I shoot. You need to shoot everything we got
Yeah.
hanging out there. Just grab them. We'll set them up, shoot them all. Don't make your decision tonight. Go through, break it down. Okay, this one felt this good. Okay, we'll put this one back because I didn't like the way it shot. The bow will pick you.
Right.
You don't have to pick the bow. You're going to know when you draw it back and you shoot it. You're going to know what bow.
Absolutely. Yeah.
And I feel the same way. The brand thing. It is what it is. Whoever makes them, as long as it's in Mossy Oak Bottomlands, I don't care. I'll shoot it.
I like it.
So now, is your business just all online, or do you have a storefront, a physical location, a gym, anything like that?
My business is, for the most part, online. I do not have any brick and mortar location or storefront or anything like that. I will sometimes do seminars, clinics, and work with clients at different archery shops, gyms, different practices, things like that. But primarily, I'm able to meet with the vast majority of my clients through video calls like this, what we're doing through our podcast, where I'll do consults, I'll do assessments, do some training coaching. But the main way I deliver training after doing like a video call or a phone call when meeting with clients is I have a couple different training systems that are really nice, neat, clean, well-developed training systems that I'm able to put together training, send training so that the archer, the client is able to pull the training up on their phone, iPad, computer, and have it right there in front of them to not only go through the training, watch my video database, but also communicate with me, provide results, communicate back and forth. So it's a very efficient way to work with people while also achieving their goals of relieving pain, preventing injury, and improving performance. And what I have found with that is it helps limit two of the biggest barriers to people getting some sort of help with either an injury or exercise, whatever it may be. And that is convenience and accessibility, meaning that we all have very busy lives. We're all pulled in a lot of different directions. So to add something in like exercise, which is not, mandatory for us. You're not forced to exercise. You should for a variety of different reasons, but you're not forced to. So we're adding an exercise that has to be convenient. Whether it's, a gym relatively close to your house, whether it's the home setup, like Rob was talking about earlier, I use the same thing. But it needs to be convenient so that it's not a big leap, right? To consistently engage in the exercise or the program or whatever it is. And then the second thing is it needs to be accessible, meaning that, if you're having to open up all kinds of different videos to watch this and that, to be able to follow a program, or you're having to read through spreadsheets or Word documents or search in the internet for different types of exercises to do, it can be a big barrier for some people. So a lot of what I do is removing that barrier and making that training as accessible and easy to follow as possible. Pull it up. It's March 12th. Here's my March 12th day. Here's everything listed. Here's all the videos set with each exercise. Here's the instructions that I give that individual. They do exactly what's shown and written. They provide a little bit of feedback for each piece. Click the button, submit it. It pops up on my end. I open up my computer, check out what they've done, how they're doing, respond back, communicate back and forth with messages, videos, whatever is needed. And that makes it convenient and accessible so that I'm able to work with people, whether they're in northern Pennsylvania or over in Europe. I've got clients from almost every continent in many different countries. So it really allows me to achieve that goal of making sure that people can stay comfortable, pain-free, and confident in their shooting or other types of exercise that I work on with them, regardless of where they are and what they're doing.
Now, what I took from that is, and I want to clarify this, if you send it to me, I pull it up on my phone, laptop, computer, whatever, and then I do what you tell me, and I have to submit it back to you, correct? So there's accountability there. You're not just going to take my money, send me the programs, and you don't care if I do it or not at that point.
Yeah,
You've been
absolutely.
paid for it.
So to provide more detail behind that, for some of my training, there's accountability. So real quickly, I'll lay out the kind of 3 tiers of training I have. The top tier, which is exactly what you're talking about, is when I work with, let's say I worked with you, Rob, or I worked with you, Matt, or any other individual, one-on-one individual. I am totally customizing their training, putting everything together specific for them, their needs, goals, limitations, setting them up with a schedule, and we're keeping track. Every single workout, I'm seeing, hey, they're on track. They're doing each workout. Hey, they missed Wednesday's workout. Hey, they missed all last week. That's definitely a problem. Consistency is the absolute number one most important aspect of any type of exercise that you're doing to benefit your health or other goal. So I'm seeing their consistency. If they're not staying consistent, I'm reaching out to them. We're talking about how we can help them be more consistent. So 100% there's accountability, because it's the most important piece. And it's also not a whole lot of fun for me to work with people who aren't engaged with the process either. So it's definitely a two-way street where I provide the service, they do the work, and we join together to make that process as effective as possible. Now, that is individualized training. If somebody chooses a lower tier training, then a lot of that accountability goes on them. The second tier is more of a general training program, general training route, where it's still fully developed. All is there for them, like I described them. It's spelled out, easy to follow, right there for them to do. And they are set up with a schedule, and they will be let known if they're missing workouts, if they're not being consistent. They'll get kind of alerts or warnings letting them know that they're missing those. So there's some accountability there, absolutely. But they're not necessarily working specifically with me as like an individualized approach. So I am not in that case going to hound them. They have the set schedule, they have the accountability with that training system, so they have to have more discipline there. Then I have the lowest tier, and the lowest tier is designed to get as many people who want some beneficial work for preserving the health of their upper body for archery, getting as many people that information as possible. So it's $10 a month. It's very cheap, very affordable. You get a couple dozen exercises all set up in individualized workouts that you can do each week. And again, that's a little bit lower, where there's a recommended schedule. There's a way for people to log their completions of workouts. However, more of the discipline and accountability is on them, because it's that lower tier, trying to make it as affordable as possible and as easy for as many people to get into as possible, so they can get the beneficial work to do. But with that comes a need to be more accountable on their own, and having more discipline with that process.
Well, I think your phone liked that
Thumbs up. Yeah, I
$9.99 a
saw
month
that
plan,
too.
because it threw a big thumbs up
Yeah,
on the screen there. It must have really liked that idea.
I thought you were over there doing something on that.
I think that's a
iPad
new
to put
feature.
that up.
I don't know. It's weird when I think it recognizes thumbs up. I don't know.
No, I just wanted to clarify on that, because you're offering many different things and kind of putting it out there for everybody to have their own accountability, or have somebody give them a kick in the butt if they don't want to follow the program.
Right. Yeah, I've set it up in a way that meets or can meet each person where they're at. Meaning that some people want complete individualization. They want my support. They want to be able to work directly with me, have all that really in-depth individualized process. So I offer that. Some people want to be the total opposite where they're just like, hey, I just want, a couple exercises to do, something simple to follow, something that I can just open up my phone, do it, and be done. I totally get that. There's an option for them. And then there's options in between there as well. Because everybody's different. Everybody has different wants and needs, and I totally understand and respect that. So with that, the thought is, okay, well, let's meet as many of those different types or different levels of wants and needs as possible.
And I mean, from what I see with some of the pictures that you have up, there's not a whole
I
lot
try
of
to keep
equipment
it
involved.
minimal as effectively possible, meaning that that's really a spectrum, right? Where if someone doesn't have any equipment to use or like one band, you're not going to be able to do that much effective work. There's absolutely some benefit that you can still do, and there's still some good quality work you can do, but you're going to be limited, right? And how much effectiveness you're going to have. Then at the top end of the scale, if you've got a whole entire state of the art gym available to you, that's great and that's awesome. But that could be a barrier to entry, and some people aren't going to have that. Some of my clients do. Great, I write their training for that. But I can't plan on everybody having that, because then I'm comfortable in saying 95% of the population is kind of ruled out because they don't, or they can't have that option, or don't want to have that option. So I try to find a middle ground where, okay, I want enough equipment, bands, some dumbbells. Normally is the minimum, where I can still give somebody some top notch, really effective work to do without having them to needing a pull up bar and a barbell with plates and cable machines. Um, so that's also kind of an area where I try to work with archers. Okay, if someone only has bands and dumbbells, great, we can make that work. You have access to a gym, great, we can make that work. Hey, I just have a couple of light dumbbells and a couple of bands. Okay, I can make it work for the time being, and then let's see if we can maybe invest in a couple of other pieces of equipment. But again, it's kind of finding that middle ground. Enough equipment to be effective, but not so much that it's a barrier.
I like it. Now, do you just hunt Pennsylvania, or do you kind of travel all over?
I almost entirely hunt Pennsylvania. I did do a little bit of grouse hunting and archery deer hunting in New York this year. However, I moved to the area I'm at now, which is central Pennsylvania, just west of Penn State University or State College. I moved here 3.5 going on 4 years ago. This most recent season was my fourth season. And man, when I moved here from northern Pittsburgh, where I was kind of like a mix of suburban and rural land in western Pennsylvania, when I moved from there to here, which is a lot of wide open rolling hills, get into a little bit of mountainous stuff, a little bit of agriculture, a lot of reclaimed stripped land, just very big and expansive. I was a total fish out of water. So what I'm getting at here is that I was such a fish out of water here that I was like, man, I have so much to learn here, and I'm enjoying all of the territory I have here to cover between public land and private land. That's all new to me and very challenging. That I have just totally invested well, the vast majority of my archery time here in central Pennsylvania, learning it. And each season has been getting better and better and better, to my best season yet this year. And that has been so rewarding. So I guess kind of in a roundabout way, what I'm trying to say is that I'm enjoying this so much. I feel like there's so much left to do, that, or so much more that I can learn, that I truly haven't had a big drive or a big pull to hunt anywhere else. I very much hunt for the venison. I do love mature whitetails, mature bucks. But my first and absolutely top priority is archery hunting for venison. So I have a lot of opportunities here in Pennsylvania with the doe tags, a buck tag, and I've been spending a lot of time here hunting some different types of ground, some public land, some more like state forest, mountainous type stuff, a little bit of ag land here, but it's been awesome. So
There's a
yeah,
good bear
yeah. I'm in
population up there
Clearfield
too.
County, which historically does well. A lot of times it's been like I think in the top 10 counties for bear harvest. So yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, we are
Okay.
we're in Greensburg, Pennsylvania, so we get to hunt. I don't know what we got a deer lease over towards West Newton, if you know where West Newton's at. We're over that way with a deer lease, and
Yeah.
so I call them city deer, but they're we got some big whitetails over there,
Yeah.
and they're pretty smart. You know they play the game well, and it's like a chess match for me. I shoot as many does as I possibly can, but I pick one buck and I hunt him the whole season, and
Yeah.
sometimes
That's right.
it works out, sometimes he wins, and that's the fun part of it. And we're
Cool.
still trying to get Matt his first turkey, so that's my goal for this spring. Every time they come in on my side, so
Yeah.
I have to shoot them first. I can't let them get over there. So, hey, you want to let everybody know where they can find you at? Because our hours just
Absolutely.
about up there, buddy.
My website is archerystrong.com, exactly like it sounds. That's where you can reach out to me if you have any questions, interests, curiosity. I welcome any and all messages. I appreciate getting those. You can also see some training options, more information about what I do, how I do it, and why I do it. Then, if you're looking for information or resources, I primarily take an educational approach to all the information I put out, um, meaning on Instagram, YouTube, and then Facebook. My goal is to provide as much valuable educational things that you can grab a hold of and apply or take with you for shooting, for training, for life that can help you relieve pain, prevent injury, and improve performance for archery and outside of archery as well. So again, Instagram, YouTube, and Facebook are the best places there where you'll find some consistent, helpful information that I think a lot of people are able to use and apply in different ways. Mm-hmm.
And that's basically how I found him.
Yeah, good.
Well, buddy, we appreciate you taking some time out. We know you
Thank
got
you.
a busy
Thank you.
schedule now. So we appreciate you taking some time. Hang out with us here for a couple more minutes. We got a couple bills to pay so we can keep the power turned on and these
Right on. Thank you
equipment
for the
running.
conversation, guys. I appreciate it.
Not a problem. Hang out with us here. You ready, buddy?
Yep. Creek Archery. Find your passion, then hunt it down. Hey, stop down and see Chris DePerna and the gang down there at Creek Archery for all these great deals on all the new archery products. Stop in and see them. They got some motorcycle, bicycle, electric things coming in there. They got a bunch of tree stands, them saddles. I guess they're not for horses. You hang off the side of a tree with these things. So stop down there, check these guys out down at Creek Archery, and tell them the Keystone Experience sent you.
We got Hillview Motors, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Ram. From new, used, certified, pre-owned. Stop in and see any one of the fantastic sales team. They'll get you into your new vehicle before you know it. Head back to the service center to get it worked on. If it needs oil changes, brakes, anything goes wrong, they'll get it fixed up for you. If you've hit one of these unfortunate critters, stop back to the Collision Center, certified to work on many makes and models, not just what they sell on the lot. They'll have that vehicle back up, looking brand new, thanks to the Collision Center and the detail shop. Check out all the inventory at hillviewmotors.com, and remember, Hillview has it.
Hey, Duke Traps. From Nest Raiders all the way up to Wolves. Get yourself some of the Duke Traps. The Pro Series, you're looking at the 450, the 550, the 650. Get these things, put them in the ground, get your kids some of those DP, dog proofs, to catch some trash pandas, as we like to call them, Rickies. Get the kids started, get them a bag full of marshmallows and turn them loose, and look out, you're going to have a good time out there. Duke Traps, check them out. Tell them the boys from the Keystone Experience sent you.
And we got your buddy,
Dear P. Dave.
with Apparition Sense. What do they say about it?
It is 100% lethal.
And it is something that we truly believe in. Been using it for years, from the Phantom Hunter, the soap, shampoo, laundry, you name it.
Yep.
Then you get to that special time of year, which is any time.
Right now, you should be putting your mock scrapes up. Get your Undertaker and Nightmare out there. And now, to make it a little less messy, he got
The hemp rope.
The hemp rope infused with the Nightmare. So, a lot less messy. You don't have to drip this stuff all over yourself. Take a rake with you, scratch the ground, throw a little dirt in there, tie a rope on, zip tie it onto a limb, get out of there, put a camera on it, and let it do its work.
And you're set to go, and that time of the year comes around. Don't forget about your Deer Pete, the Inferno, 100% estrus, certified hot.
Certified hot.
And it will get the job done for you. Check out the whole lineup at apparitionsense.com. We have Chico Outdoors. Chico Outdoors is a nonprofit organization promoting outdoor recreational activities to kids and veterans. It's in honor of Andrew Chico Christ, who was an avid outdoorsman and loved encouraging others, especially the younger generation, to get involved in the great outdoors. It has grown into an organization that hosts the annual Outdoor Expo in April of each year, but one that promotes outdoorsmanship year-round. They put back into the community. It's a nonprofit, just a fantastic group of people. Make sure you're following everything they do on their Facebook page. Check it out and don't miss next year's Outdoor Expo, Chico Outdoors.
Oh, sorry, buddy. We got a text message from one of our sponsors.
Nice.
Our buddy over there at Bow Creek Outdoors.
How ironic is that? We just got done talking about, or we're getting ready to talk about him.
Yep, our good buddy Matt. Hey, if you guys haven't listened or watched the episodes that we have with Matt, or our little TV promos that we have out there with the cameras, these things are awesome. I mean, now that we got the solar panels with these cell cameras, it's like just set them and forget them, you know? I mean, I keep saying I got to go move one off the power line we had set up for turkey season, but I'm getting all kinds of pictures of mums bringing the little fawns through there, so I don't know if I'm going to change it or not right now. You know, it's kind of cool to see them little critters, but the BC30 is the cell. It works on all three platforms.
Sir. Yep, all three providers, Verizon, AT&T, and T-Mobile, all on one SIM card, so you can pretty much put that camera wherever you want and get a signal out of it.
And then on our Food Plus, we're running BC32s, which is the wide angle. And I'm telling you what, the distance that these cameras take pictures at is freaking unbelievable. Like, I gotta look at pictures 2 or 3 times.
Yep, and they're clear. The image is clear.
They are clear. In the woods, these things are picking up deer at, 45, 50 yards?
Yep.
And when there's no leaves on the tree,
even farther.
Yeah. So, check them out. Bow Creek Outdoors. This is Bow Creek. Use our promotional code to get yourself, I believe it's 20% off.
I believe that's right.
TKE20.
Yes, sir.
So that'll get you 20% off. And anytime you use a camera and you put some photos up there, just put the hashtag out Bow Creek Trail Cameras or hashtag This is Bow Creek.
Well, buddy, deer season's coming, which means riding season slows down. Doesn't end, but it slows down. So you got to go up and check out all the inventory and the new stuff that Z&M Harley-Davidson has. New bikes, used bikes, parts, clothes.
They are running some awesome deals right now on used bikes. Like, They're giving you an extra year warranty, I believe it was. I've seen. They're giving you some crazy crap. Go on to Z&M's website, their new website, and check it out. I mean, they're giving you some crazy incentives to buy used bikes. So
you can do that at znmharleydavidson.com.
Yeah, go up there and see Ryan and them guys and just tell them the Keystone Experience sent you. Who else we got here, buddy? Back 40, old Roy and Bill. I was on the phone with old Roy the other day. I was talking to him about some fall planting that we're going to be doing here pretty soon, because we're going to plant a little bit here in the summer, but we're going to do a late season. Get yourself some of that Uncle Al's blend or some buck fuel. Get that planted, and we're going to have a good time this year over top of these food plots.
Yes, sir.
I mean, they're hammering them right now.
I know.
We got pictures on them, and the fawns are in there just chewing away on that good sweet clover. So check them out. Back 40 Seed Company, and use Keystone 10 to check out. Or give me a holler. I got a couple bottles of stuff left here, so give me a call.
You know what we're going to use once we're done harvesting one of those critters out of them food plots?
What's that, buddy?
A weeby knife.
A weeby knife.
You know what they say about them, right?
What they said?
They're wicked sharp.
They are not from Boston.
No matter how you say it, at the end of the day, that is still a ridiculously sharp blade that if you happen to break or somehow dull, which let me tell you, it is really hard to dull those. We tried all season. We used pretty much all the knives they have. They work great. They're replaceable blades if you need to get a new one. Good grips. Just a fantastic product.
They're awesome. And they got more than just knives too. You know, they got the multi-tool. The aprons are a blessing when you're in the fur shed. They got a fur scraper. They got a beaver tail knife. So get over there, check out Weeby Knives, and check out Weeby Trapline Adventures. You'll get to see Bob the dog and Mr. Mark out there trapping the world, man. They're all over the place. In fact, we'll get to hang out with them at the PTA.
Yes, sir.
So, Weeby Knives. Check them out. And our good buddy, Brian, he has answered everybody's, what do I want to say?
Request?
Yeah. For 1 ounce sample bottles
of Trapline beard oil?
Trapline beard oil.
Oh, man, I'm going to have to go put an order in right now.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So you can get yourself, I believe, every scent that he has in the 1 ounce bottle, and I believe it's a 3-pack for, I don't know. I don't want to say because I'm probably wrong. But give Brian a holler, and I'm telling you, some of the stuff that this man's coming up with is freaking unbelievable. Smells good. You know, I'm still I'm still using the acorn stuff from the fall. I use it out just about every day because I love the smell of it. The rustic wood. Just get on there to look it up, order it, let Brian know that you heard it on here, and stay bearded.
You know, buddy, sometimes things happen in life that we can't control. That's what we have insurance for. Reach out to Kelton Black Agency today, Facebook, or give them a call for your commercial, auto, homeowners, farm, and life insurance needs. We've worked with Kelton before, and he'll work hard to make sure you have the best coverage possible. Give him a call for a quote or head over and see him in his new office and do business with someone who cares.
Right here in Greensburg, Mr. Kelton Black.
Representing American National.
Hey, you know what I like putting out for the deer?
What's that?
Forget genetics.
That's one of the best minerals we've ever used.
Dude, we will not no longer put any minerals out on our property unless they are Forget genetics. And the persimmon pops and the apple jacks, just to get the animals. I to be honest with you, I don't think we got to even put that out. We just got to put the minerals out.
And you know the best thing about the minerals is if you do you try 5, you can find out what your animal actually likes.
Yeah, we did it at our place, and it seems like our deer love the persimmons, the sweet corn, and the acorn. They don't like the apples.
They don't, and it would have been a real shame if we'd have spent hundreds of dollars on a mineral that had apple in it for them not to eat it.
To give Barry, because they are veteran-owned, family-run, they do everything there, from the mixing straight into the bag to the delivering. Barry and his family will take care of you, and, you know, we support all veteran-owned companies, so from crawl to wall, we got your 6. Forget genetics.
And we've got Gearhead Archery, rethinking tradition.
Yes, sir.
It is going to be a phenomenal bow season. We are extremely pumped to have Gearhead on and join the team here at the Keystone Experience. We're both going to be shooting the Pivot 30 this year.
Yep.
And that was a hard choice to make.
Yeah. Yeah, it was. He got so many good bows, and, I mean, from the T18 all the way up. I mean, you know, everybody sees a Gearhead bow, and they go, oh, them just them little bows. No, he makes a full-size bow, and they all shoot unbelievable. So, get a chance, check them out, look them up. They will be down at Crick Archery, just one to try, but me and Matt will have our bows, so if we're around, you're more than welcome to shoot them, and get yourself a Gearhead.
It's going to be a great season.
Dude, I can't wait to sling an arrow through something's chest with it.
Yep, so head over to gearheadarchery.com. Look at everything he's got. If you have any questions, reach out to us or reach out to Gearhead themselves. Skip will answer any question that you have. Follow along with us as we take this ride now.
And just tell Skip that you heard about it here on the Keystone Experience. We got our good buddy, old Outdoor Dan. He shoots a Gearhead too.
He does.
He shoots a little one.
He does. He shoots, I think, 24?
24 or 28. One of them two.
We should really start calling him Indoors Dan. I've seen him unfortunately hurt himself.
Yeah. Old, got that big boot on his foot. But hey, he was out changing cards and stuff the other day, so he can't really be hurting that bad.
He's been working hard anyways, getting new stuff ready for the Outdoor Call radio app.
Yes, sir.
Download it today, Android and iOS, 24/7, 365 days a year, outdoor-related content.
Outdoor-related content, some of the best giveaways you're going to find in the industry. There is, I believe, right now, there's a couple fishing trips going on. There's going to be an ice fishing trip coming up. I believe a couple whitetail hunts. So get on there, download it. Wednesdays, we're on a loop with Mr. George Lynch and Warden Watch. 24 hours. It's all three of us. Check them out. There's other great shows on there. Dan on Wednesday does the live talking about Bigfoot and Ghost, and so get on there, check it out, answer the call.
And while you got that phone in your hand, follow us on Facebook, Instagram. Rob ain't got us kicked off of TikTok yet. And head over to the YouTube channel to subscribe, like, hit that bell icon.
And pay attention to all of our stuff out there, because you never know when we're going to give away a wicked sharp Weeby knife. So,
or something that might be 100% lethal.
Yeah. Pay attention. There might even be some something coming from Crick Archery. You never know.
So follow along with us. We appreciate it. Rob, take us out of here, buddy.
Hey, remember, shoot straight and keep the dirty side down.